7 years ago, I was covered in eczema, dermatitis, rosacea, and psoriasis. Most of my body was just absolutely jacked. I had the luck, the pleasure, the grace to have found a protocol and a program to heal my skin, and I've been cured for almost 7 years now. But before I was able to figure things out, when I was still in the deep depths of my suffering and my struggling, I was ultra focusing on many different things at that time. I thought that if I just found the right medication and I took the right medication, my eczema would just go away, like in a week or 30 days. Or if I just found, that one perfect diet, the magic diet, that if I just followed it for 2 weeks, I would start to see results, and then in a month I would probably be healed. And I was just constantly being let down. 30 days would go by, nothing would happen. I'd take a new pill, nothing would happen. I'd take a new topical treatment, not much would happen. My search was going in the wrong direction because I was hyper focused on the end result, and I was trying to get to the end result as fast as I possibly could. The food was the right thing to focus on, but not focusing on it in the right way was my issue. What I thought was, you pick the right food, you focus, you do it for 30 days or 2 months at the most, and then you heal. What if you don't have the ability to eat the food or live the lifestyle long enough to reap the benefits? And that's what this video is all about today. It doesn't matter if you know what to eat. It doesn't matter if you know exactly the right cleanses or the right detoxification tools. If you don't have the skills, the behaviors, and the habits to make those things happen on a consistent long-term basis. Skin disease is only reversed if you stay on your holistically healthy nutrition plan and your healing process forever. You can never go back to eating and being unhealthy. If you do, then your skin goes back to being like crap. I worked with so many people that have two major problems when healing the skin, and that doesn't have anything to do with knowing how or what to eat. One problem, and I'm sure some of you guys have faced this, is you eat super clean, you white knuckle it, you push your way through it, and then you start to have some success. Then when your skin's healthy, you kind of forget and you kind of get lazy or whatever, you fall back into old habits, and before you know it, you're eating like crap and your skin is flared up constantly again. That has 100% everything to do with your behaviors and your habits. The reason you relapse is because you didn't take the time to slowly develop the habits that you need and the behaviors you need to take it all the way. In today's video, I want to share with you guys 5 habits, tips, and tricks so that you can start to address the behaviors underlying your inability to eat well, cleanse, detoxify the body, and live healthy long enough to heal your skin. Healing the skin is 100% about behaviors and habits. If you know what to eat, but you can't be consistent with those foods, it doesn't really matter. So that's what I'm doing in today's video. I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned. Okay, so first of all, I want to share with you guys a little story. I had a client named Lisa that I worked with about, 4 years ago now. Lisa was a nutritionist, and yes, I'm changing Lisa's name because she's pretty well known and she doesn't want me talking about her. So Lisa was a nutritionist, and she is a very brilliant woman. She's a master's degree. She can run circles around me when it comes to nutrition, anatomy, physiology, science, hard science. She has knowledge. She knows. She came to me to help her create a structure around cleansing and diet so that she could heal her skin. I obliged. We worked together for about a year. About 5 months into the process, struggling mightily, she found herself having major relapses out of nowhere. She'd be good for like 6-7 days, then out of nowhere, boom, ice cream, bonbons, Coke Classic, pizza, just random, gnarly, big time cheat meals. And they were really messing her up. And it was, to the life of her, we couldn't figure it out. So here's what we did. We made everything about creating a system that rewarded her behavior and had nothing to do at all with the food that she was eating. As we addressed her behaviors using these tips and tricks I'm about to get into, slowly she lost the desire to have cheat meals. Her taste buds didn't change. Her caloric intake didn't change. It was only her perspective, and it was only her habits that changed. She got into the habit of, instead of having a sugary cheat meal, every 3 days carbo loading, which basically means that every 3 days she ate like 700 to 800 extra calories than she normally did, and they were all from carbohydrates. And what this did for her is it allowed her glucose to stay in a place that didn't allow her to, just didn't make her crave the sugar as much. And she just got used to knowing when that craving hit, oh, this is just me needing my carbs, which I'm going to be hitting up on Wednesday. I don't need to cheat. I don't need that behavior anymore because I know I have a system in place. Because she created the system, she didn't have to work for it anymore. The cheat meal stopped, the skin got better. Eventually, she put some more time into it, and boom. Progress happens when you have the right structure in place to help you with your blind spots and your deficiencies, and that's what focusing on behavior is really all about. So number one, here's the first thing you can do to start to change your habits and behaviors around eating food. Don't try to do everything all at once. You cannot master many things at once. Most of you guys are coming from probably not very healthy background. You're probably not moving your body enough, working out enough. You're probably not eating very good. To master working out takes years. To master eating a diet takes years. To master cleansing takes time. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to become an elite level cleanser, worker outer, mover, and dieter. It's not going to happen overnight. So here's what to do. Chunk it into little bits that you can do, that you can master at a time. Master that one little chunk, and when you've mastered that chunk, move on to a next chunk. Stack your chunks on each other over time, and before you know it, you're going to be there. For instance, for my clients that are on a standard American diet or who struggle mightily with diet, sometimes what we do is we start them off with this behavior. Very simple. Start every day off with turmeric lemonade. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Nothing comes in the way of that. You just do it. Turmeric lemonade first thing in the morning. So it's not that hard. You can make it ahead of time, whatever. And then at nighttime, we're just going to have a meal made at home from Whole Foods. So two super basic, and here's the important part, it has to be doable. When you're doing when you're chunking your habits and you're learning new ones, the chunk has to be a doable chunk. So for you, you're like, yep, I can definitely do turmeric lemonade every morning, and I can do a homemade whole food based meal for dinner and commit to that. In 30 days of doing that, that will be an absolutely cemented habit, a behavioral habit. You won't have to worry about anymore your ability to drink turmeric lemonade first thing in the morning or have a healthy dinner. Welcome to having a new life. Now, next chunk, let's go after lunch and doing one cleanse per week. Boom, so you focus on that chunk for 30 days. Boom, you've mastered it. Now you're eating healthy all day and you're cleansing. Now it's time to add another. So you can see where I'm going with this. You break all of your behaviors and things you're struggling down into small chunks, and you just go after each chunk at a time. You master it and then move on. Baby steps. That's it. That's step number one. Okay, so the second thing to focus on is practice, 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 and volume. And take a practice mindset. So when you play sports and you go to practice, practice is the place to mess up. It's the place to experiment. It's the place to be loose and try things and work on skills. Practice these behaviors, and if they get weird or if you mess up or you fall off, you're in practice mode. It's not the test, it's practice. So you just say, okay, wonder why that happened. Okay, I need to adjust this, and boom, just get back on it. Practice, 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 volume, volume, volume. The more you do a healthy habit, the easier it becomes later on in life. Number 3, plan for the worst case scenario all the time. Have a structure in place for when your weakness shows up, because at some point it will. What do I mean by this? Let's take example, the client I was talking about earlier. She had a problem behaviorally with cheat meals. So her plan was to first figure out what was the physical need that was causing that desire, address that. Then what was the behavioral need, the mind need, and address that. The way she addressed the physical was to get the carbohydrates where they needed to be. That helped her glucose, that helped the cravings. The way she figured out how to help the behavioral side of it was to know that every Wednesday and every Sunday, she was going to have as many carbohydrates and as much whole food sugars as she felt like. She would load it up. And what this did was when those cravings hit, because they will, she was able to say, you know what? It's only Monday. I can make it to Wednesday. And on Wednesday, I am going to have a ball. Drink some water, move on, keep the progress happening. So when you mess up, don't be too hard on yourself. Make sure that you have a system and a plan in place and you're really trying to follow a structure. Kind of just free-forming this thing and flowing with it and being in the now and being in the, you know, the festival and just feeling the energy. When you're talking about creating new behaviors, that's not going to cut it. You're going to have to get structured and disciplined with this type of thing or it's just going to go nowhere. Number 4, and this one's ultra important. This might be the most important one. You got to set realistic, attainable goals. So if your goal is to every day for 30 days do turmeric lemonade first thing in the morning for breakfast and to have a whole food plant-based or whole food animal-based homemade meal at night for 30 days, can you actually do that? If it's going to take a little bit of effort, but you can definitely do that, then commit to it and do it. If it's way out of reach, like it's something you've never done in your life and it's something that you probably have no chance of doing, commit to something easier. It's an important psychological part and behavioral science part of gaining habits is learning where your boundaries are and not failing too much. Because if you set yourself up for something that's too hard, you're gonna learn that this sucks. So start easy, make your chunks really small, and make sure that your goals that you set, you can actually obtain them, finish them, and do them. Okay, number 5. This will be my most cliche, generic, and dorky advice, but it's also powerful as hell. Your focus needs to be long term. Your focus needs to be a marathon, not a sprint. Your focus needs to be on what do I need to do to establish structures and habits and behaviors in myself that will allow me to eat a diet that I can sustain for the rest of my life and to have a lifestyle that's healthy enough that keeps me cleansed and detoxed and my body strong and moving enough and functional enough to keep my skin healthy for the rest of my life. The rest of your life is a long time. So creating the structure and the habits, you don't need to be in a rush. Take your time with it, be a taskmaster with it, do it perfectly. And above all else, have the investor mindset, which means that the work you're doing now will pay off later. It may be challenging now, and it may be some learning bumps and bruises now, but later on down the line, it's going to create such a powerhouse of knowledge and in behaviors and energy that it's so well worth it. And the process of overcoming disease is also the process of becoming an ultra powerful human being. If you have the skills to change and help your body relieve itself from a disease that someday might kill you, then you have the ability to do whatever you want in life, be it be an artist, a basketball player, a business person, a scholar. If you have dreams and aspirations, get your gut health, get your skin health on point. If you do that, your brain and your physical power will be so immense. Go after your dreams. Get healthy, then go after your dreams. Live a free life. I'm rambling. Thanks for watching this video today, guys. More tips and tricks on my Instagram at Rob Stuart. We did finally finish the 3 phases workbook. It's awesome. It outlines the entire process of naturally healing eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, and eczema. There's a link in the description for that. Instagram, I'm Rob Stuart. I think I might have said that already. If you're new to this channel, remember to subscribe and share. Don't forget to hit the notification button. I might have said that already too. This was a rambly video, and appreciate you guys much. For those of you looking to become a private client of mine, there is a link in the description box for that as well. Comments, questions, go down below, and I will be back with many more videos real soon. Peace.